So just kind of like we always do every week, kind of ending with a verse and just talking a little bit about our weeks. So this week, like I talked about last week, I had started that full-time position. So
long sub.
yeah, it's going good.
Long.
Yeah, I actually get to learn who the kids are, which is fun. So it makes it a little
Do you
easier.
have the same kids
teach.
each day?
Yes. So I teach 6 total periods. Just depends on every day. But first, third, and fourth are always the same.
That's kind of nice.
And so it's nice because I get to kind of learn what they like, and I can help them actually learn and not just give them an assignment. I can
put a movie on the screen.
Yeah, I can help. Help them to like actually get motivated.
Sure.
In terms of what the assignment is, because I know a lot of these kids are not motivated. Yeah. So it's been a challenge. Joke,
yeah.
But other than that, nothing crazy. Just been super busy with applying to school. I have to do a few things to do that, so that's been fun. But other than that, my week's been pretty tame. How about yours?
Yeah, nothing too bad. I mean, obviously today is Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to everyone. Thank you for everyone who has served. You've given the ultimate sacrifice you can on earth. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of been trying to relax. It's starting to get busy. The summers always get kind of busy with everything. This next weekend I'm gonna probably try to get some videos and stuff, but might try to get some interviews and stuff. It is boat races testing over in Tri-Cities, Washington. There's 6 or 7 boats going out there, and some little boats and stuff. So I might try to see if I can sit down with a driver or something and just talk to them and just try to get a couple clips and see what we can do. So I'm super excited about that. Obviously, the boat race season is one of my favorite things. We're just kind of getting busy with life. Just things coming up and summertime getting warm, and we haven't really got warm. It's still just cloudy and raining here. We had 1 week where it was 80 and everyone was freaking out. Now we're back to cold. So nothing too crazy. It's been a pretty chill week. Just kind of day by day, church, going to work, come back, trying to get coaching jobs still, trying to figure that out, trying to coach in basketball and talk to college coaches, see if anyone's hiring around here, and might do some volunteer stuff. Don't really know. Just trying to get my foot in the door in that, so I don't have to work in a warehouse anymore.
I feel it.
So,
all right. Well, just like I said, we'll end with each of us will share a verse. So mine is from Hebrews 4:15. It says, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weakness, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin." So kind of talking about the book of Hebrews just in general, it's a book intended to talk to Christians who are experiencing a little bit of hardships and persecution, and they kind of started to drift away from the faith. And so this book's kind of also telling them about how Jesus was God in human form. So in every way you're tempted, Jesus had been tempted in that same way, and he didn't sin. So even though obviously we're going to sin, we're going to make mistakes, knowing that we have a God that has been through what we're going through and that can empathize with us is huge, because it's not just we're praying to a God that doesn't know us and doesn't know what we're experiencing and what we're going through.
Sure.
So kind of the biggest thing that I was thinking about, he's not a dictator. He's a father. And so a lot of the times, I know my dad definitely did it with me, but is experiencing hardships. It's gonna happen. That is a fatherly thing, and it's not that obviously you never want to see your son or daughter go through that, but I mean you're gonna learn from it, and you're gonna be better because of
character.
So while we were created in the image of God, which is perfect, we definitely have a long ways to go, and so those experiences do end up helping us become better people. And I think that something that I'll just kind of end on with my verse was just waiting on his timing and his will has been
brutal,
extremely difficult, because I think that's where a lot of the times we'll slip up, is so we think we found our purpose perfect, and then we kind of go all in, and then it doesn't quite work out.
NASCAR, baby.
You think so that's exactly I moved down to Florida.
I
thought I found the job that I wanted. Went well. It was good. I put a crazy amount of effort into it.
Too much work.
I mean, but it didn't work out.
Now you don't want to do sales.
So much from
no sales.
And so the people I met, the experiences I had,
lifelong friends.
It's
from some of them.
It's cool. So I think it's just It's interesting. I don't know. That's just kind of my verse for the week.
Yeah, God's timing's hard because it's just you want things to. I mean, you watch so many other lives and like social media and stuff, and you see, you could use the Paul brothers, for instance. They're millionaires. They didn't go to, but one of them I think went to college. The other one didn't. Got on Disney, did all these things, blah blah. Now they're millionaires. Now they're boxers, and they live in these multi-million-dollar houses in Puerto Rico or something like that. They're way out in the islands or whatever. And you just want that. You want it so bad. So you're like, how can I get that? What can I do to do that? And God's timing just goes, nope. And you're going,
are you sure?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, please. What if I put a cherry on top? Does that help? Yeah, it's that God's timing's it's hard. We're a controlling human. We're a controlling species.
Oh, for sure.
And we want to know everything. My verse is kind of long because I couldn't really just like do one part of it. I had to do like the whole thing. It's Ecclesiastes 3:1-8.
Sure.
Kind of goes, I guess, with what you just said there. Kind of similar. For everything, there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep, to laugh, to mourn, to dance, to cast away stones, to gather stones together, to embrace, to refrain from embracing, to seek, to lose, to keep, to cast away, to tear, to sow, to keep silent, to speak, to love, to hate, to war, and to peace. I think that kind of just wraps up with it, what you said with God's timing. There is a time for everything. There is a time to speak up, which, Harrison Buckner might have felt that was his time. Yeah. And there is a time to be silent. There is a time to let God work his will and his mercy over whatever the situation is. Like for me, I can't personally fly over to Israel and go help in what's going on there. All I can do is pray and keep silent and just trust that God has that. And there's a time to mourn. There's a time for war. There's a time for peace. There's a time to kill. And people will be like, oh my gosh, kill. No, I think there's a time to kill in two aspects. He's talking about killing animals for food, and there's a time for war. God talks about it multiple times in the Old Testament when the Israelites are moving through the desert, going to the promised land, that there is a time for them to go to war and to kill certain people and to make sure there are no survivors. And, God talks about, the descendants of, I believe it's Ishmael, who are this fallen group that are going to be at war with God for eternity. There is a time when God does say, go kill all of them. They don't kill all of them, and now they're still here. And there's just a time. There's a time for it all. And like you said just a second ago, you can't
force it.
You can't know it. You don't get to know it. And that's just stupid. But it's the way it is. So it's a tough, again, like I said earlier, it's a tough, Christianity, being religious, it's a really tough road. It's not easy. You get, like I said, you get criticized, you get yelled at, you get told you're wrong all the time, and you just have to kind of trust that God has your back.
And you still have to love them.
And you...
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough one. This is a tough podcast. This is a tough episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tough subjects in this week. We felt like we just had to kind of touch it, bringing kind of our point of view. Obviously, we know a lot of people might disagree with it. We do want to have that conversation. We do want to give you verses and opportunity to read about it and see what our side is and what our viewpoints are. We would love to see what your viewpoints are, to kind of get that understanding. But yeah, this is a tough one. Harrison Buckner made it a interesting sports week for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had for this week. So we will end in prayer, and then we will get on with our week. Dear Lord, I just thank you for this day, and thank you for the opportunity that we have to talk about you and also talk about sports. I thank you that we are all given different roles in life, and that opportunities come up in different situations. And I thank you that Harrison Butker found that, I think last week is his opportunity to share about his faith and just what that looks like in his life. And I just pray that while we all have, our own opinions of, his speech and what he talked about, that we all go away with it in opening conversations with others and just trying to understand other points of view, whether we agree with them, disagree with them, but honestly just trying to, look at the heart of others and not just completely judge them just based on what they believe. So I just pray that we can all come together, like I said, whether we agree or disagree with his statements, and just come together as a people. And I just pray that we each have a good week. And I just thank you for everything you've given us. And I pray that we have a good rest of our day. Amen.
Happy Memorial Day, guys.
Yes.
Thanks for watching the Kind of Athletic podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on all of our social medias, and we will see you next week.